Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to a very new episode of the Did You Know series. This episode, of course, featuring Braum. If you end up enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button, but without any further ado, let us go straight into his abilities. A huge thing about Braum's passive is his allies' auto attacks can also apply to stacks. However, Braum of course must apply the first one. Somewhat on the contrary, after the 4 stacks have been applied, only Braum can deal the bonus magic damage with his auto attacks and not his allies. Braum's Q only hits one target even though it seems like it will deal small AoE damage on impact, based on the animation. Don't forget, his Q can also apply stacks of his passive, which is very useful especially if you cannot use your auto attacks. Braum's Q and ultimate can be blocked by Spell Shield, however the ultimate's slow will continue to persist and the passive cannot be blocked. Braum's Q can also be used while he is holding up his shield with the E, much like his other abilities including his auto attacks. Braum does not only have to use his W on an allied champion, he can also use it on minions to either escape or chase, or even self-cast it to get his bonuses if no one else is around. However, this ability cannot be used on wards. Braum is unable to change the direction of his shield after casting the ability, so make sure to use it wisely. Braum's shield can also block projectile abilities like Ash's arrow, though it seems based on this clip that the CC is still applied to him and even nearby allies while also taking the AoE damage. He can also block things like Zara's ultimate as long as the shield is facing the center of the ultimate, which is where the damage source is coming from, not Zara herself. But doing this will not block the damage for your allies. A pretty neat thing as well with his E is that it will halt things like Orianna's ball. If something like Leona's E hits him, it will block the damage, however the Leona passive will still apply from the E ability. Here's a pretty interesting one, something like Nami Q, it will hit all the champions around Braum even if he blocks it with his shield. Braum's passive cannot only apply to minions, but it can also be applied to more than one champion or minion at a time. Alright guys, let us jump into some cool facts and lore about Braum. Braum was designed by Riot Rex, and apparently this is his very first champion. A cool thing about Braum is that he is the very first champion to have a specific attack animation when hitting towers. There are many champions affiliated to the Freljord, and Braum is the second support one next to Nunu, since Nunu's intentional purpose when created was to be a support. Next to Heimer's rework, Braum is the second champion to have different animations for his 2 jokes. In the battle for Freljord, there are 3 sides featuring of course Ashe, Sejuani, and Lissandra, and Braum fights for Ashe. A fan-made champion called Angus was somewhat of an inspiration for the creation of Braum, since both are very manly champions who can apparently intercept projectiles. On top of that, Alex Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist is also a reference to Braum. Let's go into Braum's lore. His lore is told as a story of which a grandmother is telling her granddaughter, which was also made as an interactive story by Riot. She mentions of Braum and how he saved a young troll boy that was trapped in a cave, locked through Lissandra's door. Braum could not open the door to save the troll boy, so he instead, after days of thinking, decided to break through the mountain, which ended up collapsing down the door. From this he saved the troll boy while also finding his new shield. The mountain began to collapse even further, but Braum, quickly thinking, absorbed all of the falling rocks with his new shield, and ended up protecting everybody within the vicinity. And from this he was known to be a hero. The young girl asks the grandma to tell her more stories, but the grandma says tomorrow, and how there will be many more stories to tell. Braum's dance is based off of the Ukrainian Cossack dance. His name may be derived off of the word brawn, meaning strength, on top of the Latin word bruma, meaning winter. Or it is just simply based off of the ice cream brand called Braum's, assuming the creator of this champion just simply loved ice cream. People speculate that Braum is the person in the Juggernaut mastery within the defensive tree. Braum's E ability, Unbreakable, the ability icon shows bullets firing at his shield, which might belong to Jinx, especially since his reveal picture shows her firing at his shield. That same ability, Unbreakable, apparently used to be named Immovable Object, and was released on the PvE with that name as well, which can suggest that at first he was immobile while the shield was up. As a funny coincidence, Braum's face seems oddly similar to the Pringles man. Did you know that if Braum feeds a Poro a snack on the Howling Abyss map, that Poro will gain a mustache? With that being said, before his reveal, Winter Wonder Lulu artwork showed a sneak peek of a mustache Poro in the back. Braum includes interactions with several champions including Alistar,
I have cow you should meet.
Annie.
Mother gave me bear as child too, Annie.
Caitlin.
Good shot. You'll get them next time.
Nami.
A refreshing sea breeze.
Riven.
It is windy today.
Tryndamere, who he is apparently friends with.
Are you having fun, my friend?
Gragas, who he's also friends with.
After this, we share a drink. You like goat's milk?
And believe it or not, many more. On top of those quotes, he also has specific interactions when he buys specific items. For example, boots.
These shoes, they are too tight.
Sunfire cape.
I've always wanted an on-fire cloak.
Frozen heart.
To friends, I am snowfall. To enemies, I am avalanche.
Randuin's.
A shield for my shield? I like it.
And many more here as well. Braum's quote.
Mother always said, float like iceberg, sting like thrown iceberg.
Seems to be a pun for Muhammad Ali's quote, float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Braum's other quote.
Sometimes, shield becomes smashing board.
Can reference to a video from YouTuber Dorkly where he acts as Link and says that his shield is a smashing board. Both Rengar and Braum share a quote.
Not so fast!
Not so fast!
Of which they both say it upon using their snaring or slowing abilities. During Braum's jokes, you can see a Poro that is on his shield the whole time. Sometimes it's a Poro with a mustache, sometimes without. Dragon Slayer Braum shares a theme with Dragon Slayer Vayne, Jarvan, and Pantheon. Did you know that if Braum feeds a Poro on the Howling Abyss while in the Dragon Slayer's skin, that Poro will get an orange mustache? Also, in this skin's joke, he puts his head into the dragon's mouth on his shield, referencing to a lion tamer's performance. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Braum. If you did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to throw in a like and also share it with your friends. You can also write down in the comments below who you would like to see in the next episode, or if you have any ideas for some sweet theories for me to dissect. I'd also very much appreciate it if you guys can check out my sponsor Skins for Law. The link is in the description. You just check out the site, browse around, see what's good. I would really much appreciate it. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you next time. Peace!